Good evening once again, everyone. I am Uncle Frank, and this is Team Beer Guts with our Tour de Beer and Tour de France race recap and beer review. If you're new to us, thanks for finding us. Maybe someone shared this with you, and hopefully you enjoy it and share it with other people. Share, like, subscribe, bell notification, all that good stuff. Make sure that you don't miss any content. So, I do apologize for the lighting in here. It kind of sucks right now, and I don't know why. Might have lost a little power, lost the light over there. Can't really do anything about it, but I am dedicated to making sure that we get a video out every day, and that's the goal here. A different beer each day of the Tour de France. So, real quick, let's talk about today's stage. Nice win by Bahrain Victorious. That's 2 wins for them in a row as a team. Tanous was just a super strong rider. Woodsy, Michael Woods, man, I thought he had that race. Broke away, got caught, thought he was going to work with 2 guys, and then, no, it just didn't really work for him. And then Tadej Pogacar, holy smokes, that dude just popped. And, like, I've never seen anything like it. That's all I got to say. You got to go back if you're a fan of the race. You've probably seen it. If not, you need to be able to check it out. Primoz Roglic, not looking so good. Other favorites, not looking so good. In fact, the difference between the winner and everyone else was, I think the time cut was going to be 35 minutes. They came in with like 28 minutes. Like, they got blown away. So, hard stage in the mountains. Here, what type of beer should we have? Well, it's kind of rainy and cold. It was rainy and cold there. So sometimes that makes me think a little bit more towards dark beer. It's also 4th of July weekend. So we probably want an American beer. And one of those things that I think is also always overlooked is this style, the American Brown Ale. Now, if you think about it, when beer was being done first here in America, it was probably more of this. It's not when everybody celebrates, oh, America, and they're drinking yellow fizzy lager. That probably wasn't the first beer being done around here. It was probably more of that amber color or a brown color. Using a base malt, probably had some rye and some wheat in it as well. But a typical just go straight base malt and American hops. But it's going to be a little darker in color. And that makes me think of amber and brown ale. And American brown ales, when I first started, so there's a little beer history for you. When I first started doing beer judging and learning about beer styles, brown ale was just its own category, and it was mild, Northern English, Southern English, and American brown. American brown ale has now been moved into the other category of just American, so it's American pale, American amber, and American brown. The beer itself and the qualifications of that beer has not changed, but it's just kind of make it distinctly, these are American beers as opposed to these are your English beers. So what a day to be able to celebrate the breaking away from England to America. 4th of July weekend, let's look at the American Brown Ale. Darker in color, but not as dark as a porter. Definitely not as dark as a stout. You're going to get some caramel and some chocolate out of that, and it should be hopped. According to the Beer Judge Certification Program, commercial examples are not as heavily hopped or as aggressively hopped as its homebrew cousins, which made this beer popular again, or this style popular again. I'd like to see it become popular even more because you don't see a lot of brown ales out there all the time. And the ones that you can find are usually really good. Bell's, Brooklyn, Smutty Nose. Everybody's making a really nice brown ale. So let's check out the American Brown Ale, shall we? This, nope, that's... There we go. Wearing my coffee shirt. You may get some coffee notes, but not a lot. You should probably be more of some of the chocolatey kind of flavors, dark malts, something you want on a cold, lousy, at least here in New England, the weather has not been that great for a 4th of July weekend. Still able to get outside, still had some wonderful smoked meats on a smoker today, as well as some other picnic foods. Still managed to get outside and was drinking this on draft at a friend's house. So again, that was a perfect choice. Let me go home and review this beer itself. Food pairing, this is going to go great with smoked meats. That's right. Turkey, chicken, steak as well, but I would go more of the lighter meats that are done on charcoal grill, which you'll probably be doing this weekend. as well as smoked meats. Aroma is going to be malty with a balance of some hops. Your hop should be American, maybe citrusy. Cascade is a very typical choice or something like this. If it is a European hop, it should be more towards the citrusy side, not really on the noble grassy side. On this one, I get a nice balance. The malt is definitely in that chocolate, that soft chocolate. The taste is baker's chocolate is what I get there. Baker's chocolate being a little bit of that, a little more dry. And then you get some citrus. Think of those chocolate-covered oranges, but not as much of the orange. So it's not that much citrus, but the hop character needs to be there. It's a hoppier version of your English brown ale. It's also a lighter version of, say, your robust porter, your brown porter. Those beers are bigger and heavier. This is super easily drinkable. Alcohol range on a beer like that, this is going to be anywhere between, let's call it 5.5 and it could be up to 7. I think 7 is a little high, in my opinion. But 5.5 to 7, I think technically 6.8, if you wanted to judge it that way. But sweet malts, dries out, hops. I said it before, I just said it again. In other words, very simple. This is a beer you don't have to think way too much about, which makes this beer super enjoyable. You can have it with a burger, you can have it with your smoked foods, or you can just have it with another beer. And that's super good. If you're sitting around watching the race highlights, which again, you definitely should check out. There was a lot going on during today's stage, and I don't want to get too deep into it. Other than Pogačar is a beast. Alaphilippe continues to hold on. The GC is the equivalent of taking a deck of cards and throwing it on the ground and scattering the cards everywhere, because it does not look like it did at the beginning of the day. I can tell you that. So I'm actually going to look at some of those highlights again while I'm sitting back, enjoying my American brown ale on this American weekend. Again, a different beer every day of the Tour de France. I will be back tomorrow, maybe grill side, and we'll be talking about another beer. Until then, everybody, enjoy your weekend, whatever it is that you're doing and drinking and watching, and be safe, and cheers, and happy 4th of July weekend. We'll talk to you soon.